Hello, welcome to Double A Gaming. This is our third episode of Let's Talk About Gods. We thought all five would be released last week, but I guess they're doing 2 weeks of spoilers, so we had to put it off for a bit and wait until now. Um, we had the White God revealed today. I believe her name is Oskara the True, and
Oketra.
Oketra.
Oketra. No S.
Oketra. Classic Adam,
No S.
saying everything wrong. Um, no S. Um,
Or
and
Oketra, whatever. There's usually no S.
Oketra the True. Yeah, I mean that's as far as we know because I think they released the yeah, they have the masterpiece of it, the evocation of him. I don't know.
Her. I'd
Her.
say it's a girl. It's
Uh,
definitely like a more, no. No, they did a pretty good job at just
Duding it up.
generic body form. That could be a man or woman, no. But, I mean, I'm just going to go with her because cats are usually feminine. But,
Cats are female.
always.
Yeah. Um, so what do you think? Well, what was your original thought? I know you were waiting for the white one.
So, I would, well, it's Oketra the True, is what I'm going to call it.
Okay.
It's 4-drop, 3 in a white. Legendary creature god. It has double strike and is indestructible, so following true the indestructible and a what is the evergreen mechanic on them.
Yep. Yeah, they all got one
Uh,
evergreen mechanic.
Oketra the True cannot attack or block unless the creature or unless you control. Oh man, I messed it up. Oketra the True cannot attack or block unless you control at least 3 other creatures. And then you can say 3 in a white to create a 1/1 white warrior creature token that has vigilance. And she is a 3/6. Um, Looking at her, I'd say she's just plain. She does things. She's not. I don't see anything here that like I'm just. Why would you do that? The 3 other creatures holds true for the Windbriskites, which we were kind of talking earlier that they were going to follow along the same as the Hideaway Lands. They haven't, but this like having 3 creatures is I think Audric did it, and then Windbriskites did it. Now she does it. So it's not like something White hasn't done before, just pulled out of their butt. Um, Mana dump built into her, so for EDH I enjoy seeing that. Mainly because a lot of White that I play or I've had experience with, you just dump your hand, and by turn 5 or 6 you're sitting there
Hoping your draws
and
are
you
good.
got like a path in your hand and you're just like, you know what, I could use this for to make something happen.
Yeah.
So, I'm
You.
not too impressed with her power and toughness. The fact that she's a 3/6 with double strike, making it so she does 6. Um, so, I mean, she's definitely decent in combat, but they could have made her at least a little bit better in combat. Like, she's the god that you're definitely going to be like, I can swing with this all day. Like anything with first strike, you swing with all day. So, um, I do like that about her. But again, she is just plain. Like, she's just a plain white legendary card to me. There's no
Yeah.
wow factor on it to me. She's relatively easy for white to activate, so she can attack or block, or he again, I don't care.
Yeah.
Having 3 creatures, it's not like you got to attack with the 3 creatures. They just have to be on board.
Yeah,
And
that's
having three
certainly nice.
creatures isn't that hard. I mean, you play a Geist Honored Monk or like Captain of the Watch, you're all set.
Yeah.
Like you just 1 card, you're good to go.
Um.
So I don't think she's necessarily too difficult to get going. I think that she is good. Um, but again, like I was saying the past few weeks, I didn't think she was going to be. I wanted to reserve those top spots on my list for black and green, and it's definitely looking that way for me. She's not. I'm hoping they do better.
Yeah. My general opinion is it seems like and I think I mentioned this to Kyle Ariel today. It she's just Heliod with his legs broken as far as I'm concerned. Um. The 3/6 power is, yeah, the 3/6 body is certainly really just just really underwhelming as far as EDH goes. Um, I think um, I think it's awkward as a general. When you look at her in terms of like one of the 99, it's certainly not offensive. It's
Yeah,
there's nothing there that says I wouldn't want to pay 4 mana for this. Um, I I'd
she's not.
cert
She's not.
yeah.
She's not leading any of my white decks.
Yeah, but I certainly wouldn't say that it's hard. It's definitely not hard to activate her. She's not difficult to play. I think she's a real missed opportunity for maybe one of the 99. Possibly having an indestructible, indestructible double striking, like 4-drop 3/6, like general. Certainly might lend itself to like, I was thinking like it's too bad that it might have been good for like a Voltronish build if it weren't for the fact that you need 3 other creatures to make it happen, which is just generally something you don't want to be doing. I just can't really find much to do with this general that can't be done by a lot of other ones in white. Um, like
It
there,
comes down to just what I have. What I have available to me is how this card gets into a deck. If I don't
yeah.
have a better option for a mana dump, or say I want something that uh,
I mean,
does just give me like 1/1, anything that's warrior based, like you better be running her over Heliod as your mana
I
dump.
I guess. I mean, I think the problem with Heliod is, I think the problem comparing it to Heliod is, I think in EDH giving all your creatures vigilance is
Yeah, and
far more
I
valuable.
have a feeling that's why she doesn't have it. Having your field, having a indestructible permanent on your board, saying my board doesn't tap, is a little can can pretty much
Well,
draw down the hopes
yeah,
of
I
your
think
opponent if they're sitting there with a board that really can't
yeah, I
push
think we
through.
had well, one thing I would say is I think with the first red god and then the second blue god we still had like some, like, we were just like, oh well, we don't know what's going to happen with the rest because the blue god was designed kind of oddly compared to everything else. uh 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 Oketra definitely fits all of the design of the rest of her, like the cartouche, the monument, and all that. And I think she spells it out that all of these gods are designed a lot more for standard than for EDH. They're all meant to
For
be,
Eternal, yeah.
yeah, or yeah, yeah. They're meant to be like kind of standing on their own, as combat creatures, less so than like with like a small little ability to help them activate, but they're essentially supposed to be. I think they're all designed to be essentially 5 indestructible creatures in a cycle that have various ways to activate themselves. That are like single engine activations for themselves for a big upside on power and toughness. But essentially, what we're going to be getting is 5 indestructible creatures, with various abilities,
And
and not
yeah,
exactly archetype defining or anything like that. Like, you're really not gonna see. I don't think the black or green ones are gonna do anything that like you would want to build a deck around. And I think we're starting to realize that. Um, or I'm
I
starting
will
to realize that
say
with the
for
gods.
my playstyle, she is the easiest to get going. I have a hard time keeping 7 cards in my hand, and I have a hard time discarding my own cards just to get a creature activated. So I will say, I believe for me, she would be the easiest one to get going. You can use her ability. If you don't have any creatures available to you, she can activate herself that way, whereas all the other gods so far have had a way to get them going so that you don't need to pretty much rely on
Well, no,
your
she does.
tap
She
to
does
activate them.
activate herself.
Yeah, they all activate themselves technically. Like, obviously, drawing card, bouncing a land to your hand makes it so you can get to that 7 faster, and then discarding cards and dealing damage
Yeah.
makes it so you're down to that 1 or less faster. But I have a really hard time with, like, that hand, like, just really sitting there and being like, I need to make sure I have 7 cards in my hand, and then start playing, or I need to make sure that, like, all these cards are able to be brought back, or I
Oh
can
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
get
I
rid
get
of
what
them
you're
real
saying. It's
fast.
something you might want to be doing to get her to activate. Like, you'll probably
Yeah,
want to be playing more creatures
like
while you're playing her.
if I don't have 3 other creatures on board while she's on board. I have nothing to do for my turn. When it comes around to my next turn, right on their end step, I'm going to make a couple of creatures, and it's not going to affect what my turn's going to do. It's not going to affect like how I'm going to play.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to worry about like keeping my hand size up, um, or keeping my hand size down. But I will say, um, her only having 3 power.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
if
think
she
she
gets
got
to
a
hit
boot,
6,
kick in the dick on the whole
yeah, for the
power.
power, since he does seem a little bit easier to get going, I will say that they definitely took into account making her a 3/6, making it so that I mean you're gonna win combat, and if you do hit, it's gonna hurt somebody. But
Yeah, but I
again,
think it's gonna be. I guess as far as EDH goes, just having 3 powers is too little.
yeah, it
Even with
doesn't
double
seem. It's
strike,
not as
it's under.
appealing to look at. In
Certainly.
practice, it could be fantastic, but looking at this card, it doesn't seem um, like I'm going to just rip this out of a pack and just throw it on my desk while I'm building a deck and be like, "You're going in the next thing I do."
Yeah, I certainly agree. I think as far as I'm concerned, I think she's. I mean, she's just as playable as Heliod, which I've had a Heliod sit in my binder for days. I mean, I'm not a big fan of white creature decks, anyways, but as far as I'm concerned, it really like playing Heliod is almost better 9 times out of 10. Um,
The global vigilance is great.
the
I mean, there's also going to be running both of them if you got the space and that's what you want to do.
yeah,
There's
yeah. Well,
like
obviously, you run both. I
they
mean, they really
they
are.
don't like go against each other.
They don't clash.
I don't think any of the other. Well,
It is kind of awkward that Heliod that she makes vigilance tokens, which means you'll probably just want to activate Heliod anyways.
to get
Um,
those 2 1s, yeah,
Yeah, he gets a yeah.
get that
Oh,
little bit bigger.
Heliod makes vigilance tokens. Like he also does it, but they're 2/1s. It's like really, I don't know. Like
Well, they're not vigilance tokens, but it's just everything has vigilance.
yeah. I mean, they would be vigilance if he was still there. It's just one of those
Mm-hmm.
things where I think the design of I actually never thought of that, and that's probably a. I just thought of that just now. I forgot that like he would give his tokens necessarily vigilance, but that's because I've literally never played the card. I think I've played Heliod like once in my life. Um, as far as I'm
It is
concerned,
2 white also, so I guess there is a defense for if you're throwing it in like a blue-white deck or something like that. You don't have to be so intensive on your white. There's obviously that. I don't. You and I know if it's 2 colors, not a big deal. It's
yeah,
once you get the threes
yeah,
and the
3 is
fours,
where
you're just
EDH
like,
tends to get
okay,
restrictive. I think
yeah,
I think the general consensus is if you're playing Heliod and you want two of them, play this god.
yes,
They're similar enough, like where you won't
I agree.
you might not even notice the difference in it, like really, except
It's all about if you're running mono white, it's all about that mana dump.
well, yeah, having a mana dump is
100%
certainly
what it's
nice. I
all
mean,
about.
you play a lot of mana dumblers, which I don't think I would build mine with so many, but I mean, these two god like this god certainly adds another reason to have them. Um,
I mean,
uh,
everything except for extra planar lens is a also like
buff, yeah, but
yeah,
it certainly
but
makes a
whatever.
better argument.
That doesn't matter.
But
But
uh,
besides that, I mean, I probably put it at my 3 because I'm pretty sure I had the red god at a 1. I think I had the blue god at a 2, and I definitely have this one as my like 3. And I have pretty high hopes for the black and green one to really wow me. But now that I've seen 3 of them, I'm kind of a little reserved.
yeah, what I think I put the red god at a 1. A 1 out of 5. Or no, I put the red god at a 3 out of 5. I put the blue god at a what, a 4 or 5, something like that. I think I put him as a 5 in the 99 and a 4 as a general. I made a distinction
Mm.
there, but yeah, generally like a 5. I think he's brilliant. This white god I'd put at a Jesus. I mean, I'd probably put her at like a 1. Really, I have a hard enough time justifying Heliod in a lot of decks I've
Mm-hmm.
seen built, and I have no justification for a Heliod that doesn't give my creatures vigilance as well. Um, it, but I that it's probably a part of my playstyle. If I had to be honest, it's probably a solid 2 out of 5. Like it's not the worst, but I wouldn't be clamoring for it. She's pretty boring. You were right. Like
Yeah,
what you said at the beginning, it's pretty
she's a
white bread.
vanilla. You look at it and you're just, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen a lot of people complain that like the design of Amonkhet's really boring so far. I would argue it's not, and boring and predictable. I haven't really seen boring and predictable yet, but as far as like this god goes, man, that's a good argument. Like look at the white god, and it's just like
Mm-hmm.
yes, that is Heliod 2.0. Or like I guess
0.05.
yeah, I was gonna say maybe not. Maybe not Heliod 2.0. I think Heliod's better. So it's like I don't know, the uh, the Aliens
25.
2, or was Aliens 2 the bad one? Shit, I'm trying to think of a reference to anything else. I can't think.
Aliens was the like one everybody likes.
Okay, so
Aliens
Aliens 2 was the
3.
bad one, or Aliens
No.
3 was the bad one. Oh damn it. Okay, help me out here. What's a bad sequel?
I mean,
I can't think of a
not
bad
Empire
sequel. Right
Strikes Back.
there, you go.
Not
Oscar,
Empire Strikes Back.
whatever.
Zoolander 2.
Thank you. Oh,
The
cool.
new Anchorman.
Oketra is the Zoolander fucking 2 of the White God so far.
Of Zoolander.
We'll roll with that. Um, yeah. So I guess what'd you say, a 3? Yeah, we're looking at a
Yeah, I
solid
put it
one
at.
point
Yeah, I put it
one
at.
and a half. Uh, is that or a 2? Whoops, I can't do math today. Yeah, a good 2 from the whole team. Double A Gaming. Um,
Did you want to look at one of the Planeswalkers real quick at the end of this one, or?
Yeah, we could talk a little bit. We had a whole bunch of spoilers over the weekend. We got a little bit more time.
I mean, the rest of the week because they didn't drop any gods, and then
Yeah, they haven't
today.
dropped any gods, so we skipped them. We didn't want to do a video on everything. I don't think I've seen a few commander staples. I think as foretold, the cast blue stuff for free spell is going to be in a lot of people's decks. I can't really see any justification for not throwing it in almost every blue EDH deck because it's just going to cast you spells for free. Um, it's
The
just
combat celebrant with Kiki Jiki and just infinite combat
yeah.
stuff.
There's another Kiki Jiki Infinite combo with Combat Celebrant, which I plan on putting in Felden. It's gonna be great. Gonna get a foil one as soon as possible. Um,
The Vizier of Menagerie too. The just the green being able to play your creatures whenever you want to.
oh
You can
yeah,
look and see
the
what the
mini
top card
Garruk's
of your
Horde.
library is at any time.
Yep.
You don't need to reveal it,
Yeah.
so you can
Oh,
constantly have a little bit more information.
I was talking to
That's
Derek
pretty
about
big.
this. I think that's the new design. That's the new design philosophy for top cards. I think they're
Just look
no
at it. No one else can see it.
I don't think they're going to be revealing it anymore. I think they're just going to let you look at it because design wise or like functionality wise, it really doesn't change much except for giving opponents information. And I think they've realized that within the rules and how they work, it's just as viable to just look at it. And I think they're going to go with that going forward. I think you're going to be able to just look at the top card of your library whenever you want. On like if they were to reprint Magus of the Future, or like Future Sight, it would be printed as you may look at the top card of your library and play it as though it were in your hand. Um, so I
We'll see. I mean, it's not anything that I have really given thought.
yeah, that's
We'll
something
definitely
I've
see
thought
if that
about.
shows up.
I would be interested to see if they continue with that going forward, seeing how this gets played and trying it out.
There was the like absolutely does not deserve to be a mythic black spell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The curse is awful. Probably one of the worst mythics printed since Archangel's Light, as far as I'm concerned. In terms of like general functionality.
It's too expensive. I wouldn't if it was like 5, but like I said, just run. If you want to do something like that to your opponent, just run Children.
Yep.
Just
For
have the swamp walk, have the 6/6 body, get that creature back from your graveyard, and then hit their creatures.
Yep.
More times than not, if you're running Children, you probably got an Urborg in there too, and then you just swamp walk through their planeswalker if you really need it gone.
Exactly.
There you go.
What did you see anything else for EDH that you wanted to run or you liked?
The pull from tomorrow, I really, really like. That came out today.
Oh,
The
the draw.
X2 blue instant. Just
Yeah,
a draw X, then discard a card.
I
I
like
like
it
that
too.
for my Mizzix deck.
Yeah.
I like it for Izzet. That seems real cool.
I'm already making slots for it in Ruhan. I think it's a brilliant card. It needed to happen.
I like the champion of Ronis. Mark was going nuts about it, but then you and I were talking about it, and it really just does come down to you play this creature, you swing with it. You get whatever creature is out of your hand, and then you got to wait another turn to do it again.
Yeah, you got to do it four. Yeah,
guy.
you wait like you get it
So it
2 turns from now, and then another 4 from now, and it's got to not die. I think it's a.
But if you are good enough, I wouldn't say good enough. If you're lucky enough to get that to hit twice, and you drop some pretty serious stuff for free, then that's great. That's
All the better to you. If you don't have the like $11 to spend on an Elvish Piper, this card is going to be cheap. I can't imagine it's gonna be. It's a rare, right? Or is it a mythic?
It is a rare.
It's a yeah. This card isn't gonna be worth shit. And I think it's a good alternative to spending $11 on a fucking on an Elvish Piper. Just buy this card and then buy whatever fatty you want to drop anyways. Cycling lands are good, but those came out earlier. What else? There was one other card I wanted to talk about real quick.
Beefy Angel.
Beefy Angel is good, but that was for standard.
Beefy.
Maybe somebody likes it. I mean, it's certainly never bad having just an O-ring on a creature that can always be exploited. Not to mention it can come back from the graveyard. So I mean, that's just solid. I don't really see a reason not to be somewhat excited about that. No, there's just.
Was it Throne, Oracle's Vault, Bounty?
Oracle's Vault was cool. Coming of the Second Dawn, or whatever that card was. Written as
the white card that only got spoiled in.
Yeah, in some kind of like Spanish or something.
Yeah, the instant win card. Yeah, Approach of the Second Sun. Is that what you're talking about?
That card is really cool. I'm very excited to run it and very excited to try and make it work. I'm definitely putting it in Ruhan and just trying it out. I think
That's what I've noticed.
I think it's
quick. This set is. I want to try that card. Like I want to try it out.
Well, yeah.
And see if it works. That's what I'm finding with a lot of the cards.
Yes. The caveat. Oh Jesus! What caveat. Thank you. That's how you say that. Of just yeah. I want to see if it works. Is always put at the end of these cards. They're all really cool, but I have no clue. There's like there's really
there isn't just like yes, that will do things.
Yeah. I mean, some of them are kind of obvious, but like some of them are really fucking weird, like that Simic enchantment. There's a lot more stuff to talk about. I think if another god comes out, we'll talk about more of the cards we've seen. We didn't get to even the 2 planeswalkers, but I think we're gonna cut this one. We're gonna call it a night here.
We'll finish up the approach, and then we'll call it a night.
The approach.
The Second Sun.
The coming of the Second Dawn. I guess it's.
What are you talking about? Approach of the Second Sun.
Is that what that is? Oh, okay. I don't know. I thought it was coming of the Second Dawn. It's I'm just really excited because I think it's a really neat alternate win con for white. I think a lot of Pelifort decks, and I mean a lot of them, are going to be running this. It's relatively easy in most of the colors you'd be running Pelifort for anyways, to just kind of make sure you can never get hit, can never get touched, can never get targeted, can't have your spells countered. And then instead of trying to rely on creature combat to win, or some kind of strange infinite combo that requires multiple cards, you can 100% focus in on Pelifort and just run this one card, and it'll win by itself over a course span of a bunch of turns. There are ways to truly lock your opponents out in EDH, and I think if you want to play the most miserable way to win in Pelifort or Stacks, this is a pretty cool way to go about it.
Yeah, it's not just the Felidar or Sovereign or any of the other like real quick instants either. You really got to telegraph that like, yes, I have this approach of the Second Sun. It's going 7 cards down. I'm going to gain 7 life. You pretty much have.
You have 7 turns to try and come up with something. It's just like, as far as Pelifort goes, I think it's I think with cards like some of the other win cons are really fragile in comparison. Especially in white.
Yeah.
Like even Felidar Sovereign is really easy to kill, copy, or win themselves with. Coming in the second dawn is really impossible to mess with. Obviously, except for counter spells, but like
There
everything.
isn't the beginning of upkeep clause that they've put on cards since Coalition Victory.
Yeah, don't you just win right
So you
away?
have that instant win
Yeah.
that happens.
Yes.
I
People.
mean, I guess you could say Battle of Wits, but still, that's a permanent, I believe.
Battle of Wits is a permanent, and it still has the upkeep clause. Almost
Mm-hmm.
all of them have always had an upkeep clause,
Yeah.
which in
Yeah.
EDH is essentially telegraphing you need me dead. Um,
Yeah.
like you
You
need
have
me
a
dead
round
now.
to take care of.
Yeah, and people will turn on you. And with this card, I mean, obviously they know 7 turns later, but it's still the idea that like you could even forget about it at that point. There's I guess there isn't as much of an argument. There's almost 7 more turns they have to prepare other than just an upkeep clause, but it's just a lot less fragile, and I think that's definitely important. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that said, there might be a chance I don't think they'll ban it in EDH because it is a instant win card. Just because I think they specifically designed it to go away. So, um, but
It's
yeah,
easy enough to take care of.
yeah,
So.
I think it was it's easy enough to take care of the person. The card is hard to take care of. Almost no colors but blue can interact with it, but you get 7 turns to try and kill the person. So I think it'll be fine in EDH. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so we hope that more gods should be coming out this week. I think they're gonna do another planeswalker and then another 2 gods this week. They have yeah, at least 3 more big like item cards to reveal. So we should have another 2 episodes this week of this series. And hope you guys enjoy them. And any last words, Andy, or
No, I'm good.
any final
Well,
statement?
we'll talk to you later.
Yeah, we're gonna get to sleep. It's pretty late where we are. So yeah, thank you for listening. And this is Double A Gaming signing out.